So if you've ever had an annoying noise or rattle or squeak from your car, you're gonna appreciate this video, because I am gonna track down this crazy annoying creak that I've got in my Lotus and fix it. Welcome back to the never-ending saga of chasing down this super annoying noise that's coming from my Lotus. It's a squeak, it's a creak, whatever you want to call it. I'll put a clip of it in here. It is driving me nuts. And so far I have tried taking the dash panel off and covering the edges of that in felt. I have tried lubing the sway bar bushings. I have tried lubing the pedal bushings underneath the dashboard area, as well as the return springs. I might still try disconnecting the return springs, but I just don't think it's that. The other thing that it might be is the front shock. So the front shock, I have these aftermarket shocks on, and there is super tight clearance between the chassis and the shock. It doesn't feel like it rubs and it turns freely. I'll put a photo in this video, but it is so close that it actually peeled part of the sticker off, part of the Penske sticker right here. It peeled part of that off because it does occasionally rub. So I think that it's possible the shock body could have been, you know, clicking against that and causing the noise. Maybe. So I called the place where I got the shocks, and he said to just modify the bracket that it fits in a little bit. This is kind of the shock bracket. And he said just take these two holes in the middle and file them out a little bit so that I can just move this a millimeter or so towards the front of the car to get the clearance that I need. So I'm gonna try that now. And then if that doesn't work, I have a couple other ideas. I'm gonna inspect some of the stuff in the door hinges, the door hinge area. Maybe the sound is coming from there. But for now, I'm gonna start this. This is actually where this mounts up here, and see, what I want to do is just move it a little bit further away from this chassis part here, because that is what hits a little bit, and I think possibly it's making the creaking sound. I don't know, but it'll give me peace of mind to fix this anyway and get a little more clearance in there. Okay, so I think you can see now there's a much better gap in here than there was before. Before this was nearly touching. It was so close that the sticker actually rubbed off, even though the shock didn't seem to be damaged. But now you can see that there's a little bit more of a gap. I mean, we're probably talking 1 or 2 millimeters there. But hopefully, if that was the source of the creaking, that should take care of it. So I actually had a little bit of a false start the other time when I said that I had solved the creak, the squeaking sound. It came back. And so I changed the sway bar bushings. I put some sound deadening on the aluminum panel that's under the front. And I also swapped my shocks from left to right side in the front. And finally, the sound is gone. All right, I got bad news. Went for a drive today, longer drive, maybe about 50 miles or so. The suspension sound is back. I cannot believe it. I am so disappointed, but it has migrated from the driver's side to the passenger side when I switched the shocks from one side to the other. So I'm pretty sure that it's the shocks, and I have a good sense of what it might be. I think it might be where the shock actually mounts to the body, the little ball joint at the top and bottom of the shock. I think there might be a little bit of play in there, which is causing this. So we're gonna take a look at that now. All right, so I took the shock apart, took the spring off, cleaned it all up a little bit, and I think you'll be able to hear this clicking when I put my fingers on this little ball bearing here and move it around a little bit. The bottom one doesn't seem to do that. And more than anything, I can feel it kind of moving around very slightly in there. All right, so check it out. Fred from Blackwatch Racing sent me some replacement bearings, the bearings that go right in here. Given that that is where I think I pinpointed my problem and the sound. And he said that they're pretty easy to replace. He said just remove the circlip that's in here, take that out with a little screwdriver, and then just take a socket and tap the bearing out from the other side. So that's what we're going to try to do now. And actually, with these little circlip things, sometimes they can go flying. So I'm going to put on some safety glasses just to be extra careful here. Okay, got that out. Got it out, and yes, I can definitely feel the play in it now. Okay, we've got the new bearing here. We're just gonna gently, very gently tap that in. You want to make sure you leave enough space for that circlip to fit in the groove inside there. I think I've done that. So I think we're good. We're going to try to put those back in now. All right, got both those little clips back in, and that one is done. Now we're just going to do the same thing on this other lower ball bearing here, which also Alright, so got the bearings in here changed. Here's the old ones back in the bag. Got those changed, got the shock reassembled, got the spring on, got the right number of turns back into the preload here, which in my case was 14 turns. It was actually kind of hard to crank all those in, but I think we are good to go on the shock now, and I'm not hearing any clicking from the ends here. Obviously no play in the new bearings, and yeah, everything looks great. So should be able to reinstall this on the car, and hopefully the sound is gone for good. All right, shock is mounted back up. Hopefully, Not gonna make any more noises. Always be sure to torque your wheels at the end, 77 foot-pounds. All right, so far so good, no sound. The next day I'm gonna go, so far so good, no sound. I'm gonna take it for a longer test drive this weekend on my usual loop, maybe about like 50 miles or so. And then I will know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, whether or not it's gone. My little test loop here is only about like 2.5, 3 miles or something. So while I haven't heard the sound yet, I wanna be absolutely sure because it's been driving me crazy, as you know. So stay tuned. We'll see this weekend after the test drive. Oh my God, I am so excited. The creak is gone. Yes!
I am the smartest man alive!
All that hard work, you know, you gotta do these things scientifically. You gotta try one thing and then you gotta go test drive and see if it solved it. All right, that's it for this noise, but there are a lot more noises coming from the Lotus that I plan to tackle. The next one actually is the clutch slave cylinder. I think I know what I need to do there, so that should be pretty straightforward, but I'll go ahead and make a video of it anyway, just in case any of you are having that same problem. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something. Go out, enjoy your cars.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring the bell so you can get notified when we post a new video.